once again, welcome to Peer Learning Labs Coaching in Action. This is an initiative by Coach to Transformation for all of you who are going through your coach training journey or completed and got your credentials as well, but learning is very important. So here we bring today's coach, Sapna Shetty, and our mentor coach, Arvind. Arvind, where are you?
I'm right here.
Thank you so much, Arvind. I have a small important message that all of you need to listen to very carefully. Please note, this live coaching session would have a mentor coach, a coach, and a client. Once the coaching session starts, you're expected to go on mute and turn your camera off. The coaching session will be for 20 minutes. After this, the mentor coach would provide feedback and discuss the coaching session. The mentor coach may ask a few questions to the audience. However, no feedback should be given by the attendees. The outcome of the session has no bearing on the result of coaching or the competency of the coach. This is done purely for learning purposes. After the coaching session, you can come off camera and unmute yourselves and interact with the coach and the mentor coach. Arvind, would you like to add something?
Yes. Thank you, Ash. Thank you so much. Is it getting recorded? All right. Okay. Recording is on. Hey, wonderful to see you all. Some old people as well. Kiran, lovely to meet you. It's been a while. Good to see you here today. So I'll anyway catch up with you separately once, but good to see you. Sandeep is here, Roslyn is here. All right. Okay. So guys, today's Peer Learning Labs, I want to do a dedication. This is dedicated to all the brave folks who have actually started coaching right now in the last few months, right? So when I say brave, you made that brave choice of allowing yourself to go through a program which you did not know what it was going to be, but it is now turning out to be something else. And I know the whole experience that you're going through. So I wish to dedicate it to you. So how many of you have started your level 1 in the last 6 months or 1 year here in this room? Can you just raise your hand? You can use right. And this excludes people who have already moved into level 2. This is only for people who have actually started level 1 at this particular point of time. All right. Okay. So we have a good amount of people today just started level 1. Excellent. Excellent. Wonderful. Wonderful. So hearty welcome to all those people who have made that choice to moving into the world of coaching and to see what this whole world is all about. And this Peer Learning Lab is being supported or is supporting all of us in this room to kind of gain something which will be can be very different from what you might have already been experiencing, right? So one of the things that Peer Learning Lab is all about is this is an experience process. This is not just a learning process. It's about the experience that you actually kind of go through, right? So being that world of experience, and I will connect with the people who have raised their hand, who started level 1, and we will do a short work after the conversation is complete. So just wanted to kind of call it out. But hearty welcome. And the people who are in level 2 or who are also into other programs like our team coaching or into mentor coaching, hearty welcome to you guys. And you know how this actually works and enjoy the whole process today. So that's something that I want to share, right? Sandeep, can you try going on mute? Yeah, sure. Thank you. All right. Okay. So with that, we can go ahead and begin. Or everyone except for the coach and the mentor coach, if you can go off video right away, off video and on mute. Please be on mute throughout.
It's me.
Please be on mute throughout. And Ash, if I may ask you to spotlight the client and the coach. All right, excellent. Sandeep, would you be able to switch off your video, please? Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Okay. So Sapna, thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate it. And thank you for creating the space today. Manoj, you love this, so I know how much you are already enjoying this moment. So I leave it to you guys. Sapna, is there anything that you are wanting to look at working on today, specifically for you, which you want me to give you a support on?
Nothing in specific. It's just an open learning experience that I'm looking at.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fair
And
enough.
probably, yeah,
Sure, go ahead.
I'm
Probably.
looking at the core competencies later on. So,
Okay, right. So while when you say core competencies, we might not have time for all the competencies. Is there something that you would like to kind of put a finger on today?
the agreement bit.
Okay, agreement bit. All right. Okay, excellent. So we'll see how the agreement kind of goes. And I will come back and check in with you on that. All right. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
your 20
Thank you.
minutes
Appreciate
is the time for you, and you can start when you're ready.
Great. Hi, Manoj. Is it
Hi.
okay if I call you Manoj, or is it Dr. Manoj?
Absolutely fine.
Okay. So which one would you prefer?
Manoj, fine.
Manoj. Okay, great. Thank you so much for extending your permission to participate in this
In a short notice.
in a short notice. And at the same time, I will confirm once again, do I have your permission to play coach for the next 20 minutes?
Sure. Pleasure.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And just checking in, is there anything that probably you can do to feel more present and completely here in this moment?
No, I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
All right.
And just a
Bluetooth
heads
mode.
up that we are at the, we are having an internet connection over here. So in case something happens over there, we'll stay connected till both of us log in.
Sure.
Yeah. So Manoj, what is it that you wish to visit in the 20 minutes that we have?
So it's about health decision, health and fitness decision, which I had taken very recently. And I thought maybe I would kind of discuss it together with you, Sapna. And that is basically that I had registered for ProCam Slam. It's basically a marathon, series of marathon. Uh, and I've just finished one, and I'm not too sure whether my preparedness is going on the right track.
All right. I hear you. And we start, it's health and fitness, and if the preparation is on the right track.
That's right.
Can you help me learn how these two are connected?
Problems.
So
Yeah,
ProCam
that,
Slam
that
is
is there.
Just take a moment.
yeah, sure.
Yeah, requesting everyone to stay on mute, please. Yeah. Yes, you can tell me.
Yeah, so ProCam Slam basically is a, a marathon event, and basically those who enjoy running, they register themselves, uh, and it basically involves four marathon. Okay, 10K of TCS Bangalore. Then you have Vedant Marathon in Delhi, which is half marathon, and then you have 25 uh, kilometer at Calcutta, and then you also have full marathon in Bombay. Okay, so the one I have finished, and I'm kind of preparing it for my half marathon, and then 25K, and then 42. But the amount of intensity and duration and speed which is required, suddenly after finishing TCS, I have kind of started enjoying running, but not really focusing on speed and the kind of intensity at which I should be preparing.
Okay. Enjoying running and not focusing on the speed and intensity.
Yes.
What are we looking at today?
I don't know. I mean, first of all, I'm not too sure whether I've done the right decision. Uh, okay. And second is, if that decision is right, why is that I'm I'm kind of having a lovely time. I'm just doing what I'm doing, but I'm not typically preparing the way an athlete prepares.
Mm. Okay. So at one end, you're enjoying the process, you're enjoying running. And I could see the smile even as you started. It's about fitness
Yeah,
and you're enjoying the running, but it's not according to how an athlete prepares.
that's right.
So what would be a good outcome for you at the end of 20 minutes?
I don't know. I'm not too sure why am I doing this.
Is that the outcome you're looking at? Why you're doing this?
Why am I doing this? Is this decision right? And if the decision is right, then why am I not pushing hard enough?
Mm.
See,
Mm.
okay, I'll tell you this. Like the half K, 21 K should be covered in at least 3 hours. Okay. Normally, my timing is around 2 hours, 30 minutes. Okay. The one that I've started doing is just very slow jogging. And sometimes finish it in way beyond 3 hours. Sometimes I kind of, you know, get laid back and just enjoy the whole process of running in the wilds and not even careful about the timing. That is one. You're supposed to do interval training. uh, I'm not doing that. You're also supposed to do a little bit of weights basically to put pressure on your legs. I'm not doing that until TCS was there, uh, which happened last month. I was pretty okay with that. I was doing it. Once TCS has finished and I know that it is in October, it's like I'm kind of letting go, which ideally shouldn't be there.
And even as you're saying that, there's a laugh and a giggle behind what you're saying. I'm curious about that. What is that actually all about?
I don't know. I mean, somewhere I think it's like that sheepish smile, uh, which happens to a child when he says that he knows what he's done, and he knows that what he is doing is not correct, but he's still not doing it.
Hmm. Okay. There's a sheepish child who is wanting something and still, not going for it or something like that.
Yeah,
Is that what? Okay.
yeah, because it's very grueling. When you start preparing like an athlete, it's like uh, your nutrition takes backseat here sometimes. Right now I can actually enjoy those mangoes, uh, the chocolates and sweets. Then you need to be go off high intensity carb. uh, in addition to this, you also need to be on protein diets, which I don't like. And you need to be on protein powder because your muscle undergoes a little bit of wear and tear. So taking that also I don't like. I was trying to do it till TCS was there because your body needed it. Okay, but I'm not doing it, and I guess I know that this is what should be done.
Hmm. So, Manoj, like I'm hearing quite a few things. While you had taken the decision to run the marathon, and now that is over,
The
there
first
are a
marathon
few.
is over.
First
Yes.
marathon is over, and now there is a questioning that's happening,
Yeah.
and there is a joy of running, but there is some kind of holding back to all the demands of
Yeah.
the process.
Yes. And there are still 3 marathons which is left.
Okay, so what is it that we are looking at achieving at the end of the time that we have? What is the outcome that you would like to really land at that can be really meaningful and of value to you?
Okay, so maybe I'm smiling, I'm laughing, but deep down, I guess Procam Slam is something very prestigious, and I've been dreaming about it for a while now. That probably could be one step before you actually prepare for the Ironman. That's like a long shot. And those of us who are in the corporate world do want to get into fitness and kind of say that, hey, it is not just the corporate world, we are there, we are also there into fitness. I am from the healthcare industry, so I probably would really like to kind of advocate and enable a kind of a healthcare environment, and kind of become an advocate myself. So that's a serious side of me. Sometimes I jokingly say that I want to be the fittest and youngest CEO, and hope inshallah someday I like to achieve that. So that's the longer version. But somewhere down the line, I think once the first part is through, there's a long gestation period. It happens in October, and this is June. So I have roughly close to 4 months. Okay. But ideally speaking, these 16 weeks should be used very well, basically to program yourself. And I know that my coach has been trying to push me to do that. We have a running coach here, and but I'm not doing it so far. So I'm slightly still thinking why, what kind of inertia it is that I'm not doing it the way I should be doing it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that openly about your long-term vision, about being a fitness advocate. And I believe those were the reasons you joined this.
Yes.
Okay. And you keep saying, I'm not doing it.
I'm
So
not
what do
doing
we
the
need?
way I'm not doing the way I should be doing it. For
Mm,
example, today I had a very slow jogging of 7 kilometers. It
mm,
was the timing was like 9.5. So I took 9.5 minutes to finish a kilometer. This is nowhere close to the marathon timing. Okay.
mm,
I enjoyed it. I mean, I like kind of freaked out. I did a good one,
mm,
but the timing was not good. Okay.
mm,
So maybe I think I should get serious, put a
mm,
calendar, kind of really reflect. Is this that I was kind of, I had put in too much for my TCS, because it was very grueling for those 2 months when I
mm.
was preparing for TCS Bangalore. 22nd of April, post 22nd of April, I think 22nd or 24th of April. After that, I think I've taken it as a lean period and kind of done nothing great.
I can see this Manoj who has a vision. I can see the Manoj who ran one marathon. I can see a Manoj who's in preparation and saying that this is not it in preparation for the next. And I can see a Manoj who enjoys running. And you mentioned grueling. What else did you learn about yourself from the process till this point?
You're talking about my when I was preparing for TCS. Is that you're asking?
From that entire experience up till now, what have you learned about yourself?
So it brings the best out of you for sure. Uh, you also enjoy those sweat. You also enjoys those workouts, and you feel good about yourself. Not that I'm not feeling good about myself now, but I guess I know my path. I mean, that this is what I should be chasing, which I think it's been like little more than a month when I have actually got back into practice.
Is there anything else that's coming up for you?
I think I need a push, which I'll try doing.
Once again, like I can see the person who is really motivated to accomplish what he has set out to do, and he has allowed himself to take a break after the marathon. And that break is somehow extending into the practice session. And yet there is a feeling that you're not achieving what you ought to achieve, even in these practice runs.
Yeah. They are very slow jogging. I mean, they're like one run. What I'm doing in last
Hmm.
one month.
So, what is it that we're actually looking at addressing all in the conversation that we had from the beginning up till now?
So I guess
What is the point?
I guess I need to get serious. Uh,
Mm.
I need to develop a calendar, which I did it during TCS time. I think I should aim anywhere close to 2 hours for my half marathon.
Is it okay
Last,
if I share something with you?
yeah, please.
Yeah, because at the minute you said, I think I need to get serious, it was immediately serious. And the person who actually can run is that sheepish boy who is smiling and enjoys running. That's what I'm noticing, that he enjoys the run. And it's the serious part that is actually planning and plotting and measuring. So where is that point that the two can actually join hands?
Good question. I got into running mainly because I enjoy it. You know, the sheer pleasure of covering distance, and I've been doing it since my Sanic school days. So, kind of really enjoy. It brings good amount of great resilience, kind of determination also, and it gives a good kick start to your morning. So, that's for sure. Whenever it becomes into a competition, uh, the day when you are running and you ran well, there's a lot of high. You you have loud music, you have a lot of people thronging in and running along with you. The sheer joy of finishing, uh, and getting a medal, all that uh, gives a sense of achievement, but there's a lot of pain which goes before you achieve this. And that any marathoner would agree with you that it is not easy, because you have good days. You have to break your workouts into intensity training, muscle building, slow run, recovery run.
Dr. Manoj, are you there? I- Hello? I was just checking if it was from my end. So,
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
My apologies, I got disconnected.
Yeah, the internet. We are still connected, so no problem. Yeah.
Till what point you heard me?
So I heard that you can continue from wherever you feel like. That's not an issue.
Yeah, so I think, as I told you, that uh, knowing fully well that this is what I should be doing, I've been trying to procrastinate and trying to push it forward because the sessions are grueling. Uh, and but then probably I need to be mindful of if I put in that effort, uh, what lies in store, and probably start calendarizing it, putting some speed to what I'm doing now.
Okay. Right. I'm just really mindful that we are at the end of our 20 minutes. So is there anything that you might have learned for yourself during these past 20 minutes?
I don't know whether what I'm doing right now is wrong or right. I surely I enjoyed this break. I kind of uh, loved it. May not have helped my bigger ambition, but somewhere down the line, I think this was also required. Uh, but now it's the time to get started and to start.
And how is your tomorrow looking different by virtue of this discussion?
I'll share the ProCam Slam medal. It's very big in size.
Okay. Okay. Just curious, are there any resources or support other than what programs is providing that you're looking at to achieve your goal long term?
For running? For
To
running,
what you're wanting, yeah.
I'm a part of a distance runners group in Ahmedabad. Uh, they assemble very regularly. I've not been doing it for last 1.5 months now, and I need to. They meet around 5 o'clock every morning, so I need to do that. And yeah, well, the resources are there that needs to be utilized.
Fantastic. Just, I think we have come to the end of our session. Is there anything you would like to close this session with?
No, I'm good. I think I needed this at least one coaching session for somebody to make me realize that now it's time to get started.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for your participation. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Can we move back to? Thank you. Spotlight in my video. No, why? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. All right. Okay. So big round of applause, Coach. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in and actually doing this conversation. Yes, Sapna, how was that for you?
No, as a coach, I think I could have done better, but yeah, I'm really appreciating the client for their impromptu participation, really thanking them for that.
Right, exactly. Thank you so much for calling that out, which is what I want to tell everybody here, that you guys know that coaching actually happens any moment. So nothing is planned, nothing is prepared. Each of these coaching conversations are absolutely real. And this is something that a client typically kind of goes through. So that is exactly what we're doing in PLL as well. There are no preparations and people just start. So I just want you guys to know. And that's what coaching is all about. Okay, great, Sapna. So yes, now there is always ways to look at everything from a different perspective. But let's start with, what do you feel went well for you, Sapna?
I think in spite of just the impromptu connect, there was connection as well. And
Okay.
there was participation. And I think at least presence was there.
Okay.
And but agreement was not arrived at. And
Okay.
yeah, so that's the first pillar which I feel, I couldn't, I think I put an obstacle over there for myself by, focusing on the agreement bit. So,
Got that.
yeah.
Got that. And that's how Googlies happen.
Googlies, I know.
Right? And please allow some
Yeah.
cricket references to come in just for the sheer part of the day, nothing else. Okay.
Yeah.
Got that. And I'm with you, Sapna, right? Okay. So we will kind of get there to that particular point. What did you see yourself different in a different way today that you think you have done differently for yourself today?
I think I was super calm. For some reason, it was a expanded space. I felt it.
Nice.
Yeah. There was nobody else. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. What else? Can you add a little bit more onto that? Calm is
And
one.
I think the questions, there was only one thing that was popping out, and that was what I asked. There was no multiplicity of questions. I was trying to go to the who, but it kept coming back to the what. So trying to reach it, but I think, yeah, rapport could have been built better. Probably that safety, rapport, trust probably could have been achieved better, so that the who could have been approached.
Got that. And I'm trying to make you stay in what has gone well, and you keep moving inside probably. So come out of probably right now. Right. So
Yes.
calm was one. Beautiful. What else? Presence you called out. What else? What else was something that's different for you today? Expanded space. You said that. That was beautiful. Got that expanded space.
Yeah. In spite of expanded space, the time just went away. So yeah, usually time is expanded too. Okay.
But this one, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And that's the experience that you're also going through, right? In many ways.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I think,
what else?
Yeah, I think the best thing that happened today was I really had no idea who was coming in, and it didn't matter.
Yes.
And it was fine. That's
Brilliant.
the best thing. I think, yeah, that's the biggest takeaway from me.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for kind of calling that out. I think that's the first step of any coach, to identify that coaching is just a conversation. That's it, right? There's nothing that you or me have to do anything with respect to what needs to be done there, right? It's just about, okay, let's have another conversation. It's as simple as that. Okay, got that. Okay, now we will move into your world of probably. Okay, so in the world of probably, let's start with a very basic. Okay, what is something that was, so what was happening with you? Let me ask that. What was your experience while you're going through this?
I could see the who, and I tried highlighting the who, the various parts of the client. But I think there was a loss of connection or understanding. Maybe I could have explored further in terms of, I think I could have made it more simpler for the client.
Okay, got that. So beautiful. So since you are at the simpler here, what is that simple that you would now like to ask this client right now when you're talking to me?
What does fitness really comprise of? What does that mean? I think just the meaning of fitness, because that was the first thing that started. So how is that connecting to the who? The start of it all.
So what does fitness mean? If you had asked that question, how will that connect to the person? That would
Because
still be. So can you look at a question which also connects the person?
Who is the Manoj that is actually advocating fitness?
Is that simple for you?
No.
Can you make it simple?
I'm sorry for taking the name of the client over while
Okay.
asking the question.
Thank you
And
for bringing it to it. Sure.
What will grueling become at the end of it all?
What will grueling become at the end of it all?
Yeah, because at the end point of it all, even that is confusing. Okay, I think it's not that simple, is it?
No, it is. It is. It's just that the simplicity is something that we have to allow ourselves to become simpler, right? That also is very important. So I mean, while there are multiple parts to it, sir, okay, let's stick to the very basic of. Let's take agreement, for example, right? What did you hear the agreement as from the client today?
The agreement was, it was not clear to me. It was not clear to me.
Okay.
So
let's start with what we'll get there. We'll get to the not clear part of it. But where did it start? What did you hear up, in the space of agreement? What did you hear from the client?
That they want to get back onto practicing in an appropriate manner. Not only that the client is practicing, but it is not up to the standard or expectation that they are having in mind.
Okay, got that. So in what I'm hearing from you right now, you are saying that you heard the client speak about practicing.
Yes.
Okay, in an appropriate manner. Was the word appropriate used by the client? Okay.
No.
So practicing in what manner then?
Standard. It's not up to the standard.
It's not up to the standard. Okay. So let's try looking at the words the client used, right? So practice, not up to the standard. Okay. What else? What else came up as part of that?
Also the vision to become a fitness advocate, because the client belongs to the medical industry and wanting to be a fitness advocate at the end.
Okay.
And that was, yeah.
Go ahead. So there was the world of the fitness advocate. And when they said, so did we hear the client say at the end?
No.
Okay.
No.
So the fitness advocate was about what? According to you? I'm just checking. Whatever you remember. Don't have to remember everything. Because when we are speaking about agreement here, you are able to bring that memory of the fitness advocate here in our conversation. So on one hand, it was about the practice and the standard of practice. Another is about fitness advocate. So that was within the agreement space, according to you?
How would they measure that? I mean, I don't think there was a proper. There was a description of many things that was wanted. The desire was there, but locking in of a specific one was not there, I feel. And so I think, yeah, that is where I could not, I don't know what happened there. I really don't know.
Sure.
I'll have to look at the recording.
Fair enough. I mean, it's not about the recording. It's just about what your experience has been, right? So just allow that to happen. Okay. So practice, standard, okay, fitness advocate, something called agreement. We don't know what it is as such.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But these are some things that you and me are talking about right now. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just supporting you, Sapna. What would be a simple inquiry that you would like to ask this client, which will support them? Because you said you are not clear about the agreement. Okay. So you bring in your process of that you're not clear. But here are three things that you heard. Okay. There is a practice, there is a standard of practice, and there is a fitness certificate. Okay. You can choose all three or you can choose one of them. But if you were to ask a simple question or a simple inquiry to the client about the agreement, what will you now ask?
In what? No. What can we look at today that will be really meaningful to you in this session?
Okay, and let's take that
Mhm.
with the words that we have discussed. I didn't hear any of those words in this question that you created.
No,
So if you were to
yeah.
add it inside, how will you add that?
What about fitness can be addressed that can be really meaningful to you?
Okay, right. You're able to see, okay, so still the three, you and me did not use the word fitness, interestingly. We had other words, but you have chosen to go with the fitness. Fantastic, that's fine. Okay, so can you ask the question again?
What about fitness can be addressed that can be really meaningful for you?
What can be fit? Ask it again, please. Once more. Sorry, my bad.
What about fitness can be addressed that can be really meaningful to you?
Okay, right. Okay. So you see, there is. So do you feel this is simpler for you?
Yes. At least it is narrowing it down.
Okay, right. So let's imagine the client is saying a response to that. Okay. Forget about the response. If you were to use the other words that we discussed, if you were to ask this question again using that word now, any of those words, what would you like to ask?
What is standard telling you?
Okay, right. And you need to connect it to the agreement as well. So how will you ask that? That will connect the standard for them.
How will you? What will let you know that you have met your standards at the end of this conversation?
Got that. You see this? Okay. So the first one you started with the fitness, and there is a fitness, and then there is a standard, and you're actually asking somewhere which is leading them towards thinking what it could be by the end of it, right? You have opened the measure layer, but we don't know whether it's measured yet or not. Only after the response we will receive, we will get it. Okay. But do you see the simplicity of the questions?
Yes, it becomes a lot simpler. Yes.
Right. Okay. Right. And that is what I'm leaving you with first. From the world of agreement and to the simpler that you're actually looking for, right? It's just about looking at those words and the way the client is actually sharing and just presenting it back to them to see what would they like out of that. You get what we're doing here, right? Okay. So if you want to make it a little even more simpler, we can make it even more simpler, right? What can this standard mean to you by the end of this conversation? Okay. What can this practice look like, right? At the end of the 20 minutes we have. Okay. Or what do you think you would want to feel about practice by the end of the 20 minutes? Anything of those, right? what would you like to learn about yourself as a fitness advocate by the 20 minutes that we have? So you have the learning, you have the fitness advocate, and you're also calling out the 20 minutes that we have this amount of time. So you see the weaving of all of that can come together for the client, which can support them to see what they would want today.
Got that.
Is this simpler for you?
Yes. Yes.
Right? So any points can actually make that whole conversation, create that space for the client to bring out what they are really looking for.
Got it.
Right? So instead of the typical ones of the meaning and what we're asking as a meaning or supporting that. So considering Sapna, I'm aware that you are in your level 2 program right now, and you are at a different level of proficiency and competency of this. We are working at that particular level. And there are the simpler levels that we will typically also pass. So we are trying to combine both for this particular part. Okay. Any thoughts, any questions on this?
No, not right now. I was just wondering that if I mention the task, wouldn't it be addressing the what instead of the who?
Which one?
Because if we are talking about fitness as an outcome, wouldn't that be moving towards the what instead of the who?
Yes, and that's why I had given you the question on fitness advocate.
Okay.
The fitness advocate, the client called it out as the person who they are. So what would you like to know about, what do you like to learn about yourself as a fitness advocate is the question.
Yeah.
Right? So that would now be about the person, about what's happening with them and who will they become. So you're even asking something like using a what, which can even result in a who. Can you see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is where the differentiation is.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how we can experiment in different ways. Okay. Is it making sense?
Okay. Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. I'm careful of time. So can we remove the spotlight, please? Okay, the spotlight off. Yeah. Oh, great. All right. So those who want to come on video can come on video right now. So as I started the conversation today, this was dedicated for the level 1 guys who just kind of began, right? So all the people who have started level 1 in the last 6 months, right? Can you raise your hand and tell me what is it that you raise your hand and tell me what is it that you have gotten today that is new for you in the way this conversation happened. So this was also a mentoring that happened for a level 2 coach, right? And that is something that you will also get to learn when you move into level 2 is while we start usually working with the client, there is also a person of the client, right? When you do enough practice in the level 1, you actually arrive at looking at the person also over a period of time. And how does that kind of happen is what we saw as a demonstration today, right? But I would love to hear from you guys as to what kind of came up, right? Very short ones because we have very, very little time. So I have Ravinder and maybe I can take one more just to hear you out. Okay, Ravinder, go ahead.
You want me to go?
Yes.
Okay. 3 quotes from the conversation I loved. I think we have to allow ourselves to become simple. I love that quote. Thank you very much.
Sure.
I think the second one I take was the demo you gave of various questions and said, any of these questions will work. We need to create a creative space for the client to think through. And any question will work. So it may not be a perfect, you don't have to land the right question as long as you land a relevant question. The creative space gets generated in itself.
Yes.
Second one. The third one was, can you look at the question which connects to the person?
Sure.
That was my third takeaway, not the situation, but the person. So
sure.
Those are my 3 takeaways. And I want to thank Sapna and Manoj for this demo. Appreciate it.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to connect that dot. One more person who wants to come in, specifically level 1, who has taken up level 1 in the last Aparna, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I've loved about today's conversation is that how you very well articulated that how we can go from what to who. That was brilliant. So
Sure.
that's something that we really liked. Thank you.
Got that, Aparna. Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay. So first of all, to connect many most important aspects of what we're doing here, this is for all of you in the room, and this would be relevant for every one of us at every level of coaching. First thing, and Ravinder, I'm going to use what you shared as an example. Okay. When you shared with the word right question. Okay. So first thing I want to call out to all of you in this room, guys, there is nothing called as a right question. There is only question. Okay. That need not be put under a right or a wrong, because a question is a question, first of all. Okay. So always know whatever you are asking is right. You don't have to worry about a wrong question. Okay, number one. So that's something I want to share with all of you. Okay. Second, if you have asked something which you believe is not what you want to ask, you would have actually wanted to ask something else, for example. Okay. That is the time your mind is kind of telling you, oh, I made a wrong question. But the question that you actually asked is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So one is always allow yourself, if you have asked a question and suddenly you feel it's not the question that you wanted to ask, okay, please allow that question to pass. Don't think about it in your head, oh, I would have asked this differently. Okay. That question happened in the way it needs to happen to that client in that moment, and that's it. Don't worry. You now have a fresh moment where you can now go ahead and call out what is the question that you really want to ask. So take that moment to ask and inquire based on the following points. So in coaching, we actually say the future always supports us as coaches. That's one of the reasons why we don't work with the past, right? We work with the present and we work with the future. The future moment is always a new moment, and you can go ahead and become the coach that you want in that future moment. See what I'm sharing. I hope you guys are able to understand what we are talking about here, right? This is for all of you. Just allow things to happen in the next moment. You will always have an opportunity, okay, to then become the coach that you actually want to, number one, okay? The only thing that you will see yourself moving constantly in coaching is you will move away from a correctional mindset, okay, to a developmental mindset. Try not to correct yourself. That's where the right and wrong comes, right? I did this, okay, that's fine, but next moment is available. I can go ahead and do something different now. That's it. The different may not be about the wrong one, or you don't have to correct yourself. So just want to leave that as a very important aspect. Okay. So to all the coaches in the room, allow yourself to enjoy the process of the moments of coaching and let it flow on its own. The more you try to do something is when we spoil coaching. The more you allow the flow to happen, it will continue. It's the experience finally that makes a huge difference. Number one. Okay. Last but not the least, Sapna, the coach, the one important, amazing thing that I want everybody to take on in coaching is, guys, coaching is a conversation. The way this coach spoke to the client today, it was just like any other conversation that two people will have. So try to bring a conversational style, and that itself will make a huge difference in the way you can coach. All right. Okay. I'll take a pause. Over to Ash.
Thank you, Mentor Coach Arvind. And thank you so much, Sapna and Manoj. I really have to appreciate Manoj for jumping in so quickly and helping us out today. And I hope everybody else also does the same if ever this happens again. And thank you so much, Sapna. Even though there was no connect with the client, but the client also had just come into a coaching session. You were able to take it so flawlessly, and the conversation, like Arvind mentioned, it was a beautiful conversation that you had. Thank you so much for accepting our invite, and thank you everybody else who attended the session today. Hope you have a lot of things to take away, but please don't forget the CCU certificate as well that you need to take away from today's session. I have dropped the link into our chat box. Please fill the link, the form link, or else sharing it later becomes very difficult for us. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening ahead.
And those who enjoy and like cricket, enjoy your cricket.
Oh, yes. Back to RCB will.
All right. Take care, guys.
RCB
Wonderful
will
meeting you
win.
all. Take care.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. Take it. No problem.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening ahead.